Welcome back to the John and Linetia Show.
We'd like to thank Jesus Christ's wife, Roshonda Christ, for stopping by and hanging out for the last hour.
I don't think she's really Jesus' wife.
She had proper legal ID.
She's only 23 years old and a black woman.
Stop persecuting Christians, Linetia.
That's a shame.
You do that all
That's
the time.
just shame. I do not.
Quit persecuting them.
Do not. It's ridiculous. Everybody want to be Jesus' wife now.
Speaking about persecution, baseball fans in Chicago didn't have a very fun season.
No, they
Well,
did
some
not.
of them had a decent season.
It was up and down.
You know, you had the Cubs. Oh my goodness, losing over 100 games.
But people still love them.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't totally bought in with the plan, the Theo and Jed plan for the team. It quite honestly, it seems like a way to cut the salary down for the new owners, and I am skeptical that the salary, the payroll for this team, cut the payroll down for new owners. I'm skeptical that the payroll for this team will ever kind of reach the heights that it had in the past. And, you know, this kind of a rebuilding effort that they're doing has only been done in the past for small market teams and mid-market teams. You only see this in a Pittsburgh or in an Oakland. You know, basically these teams that have very small bases and they don't get much revenue. You never see it in a large market team, mostly because you don't need to strip it down as much as they have. Now, okay, you know, Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer have basically they want to essentially turn the team into an expansion franchise and go from there. And they claim that this is the way to do it for long-term sustained success.
But the issue still is they're not winning.
Well, yeah, and they're not gonna, because they're basically a AAA team this year. Next year, it looks like a AAA team again, maybe a AA team. They're not going to lower the ticket prices. I mean, basically, they've already said that they're not going to win a World Series next year. They're going to be competitive. You know what? Anybody that actually pays money to go to Wrigley Field next year, I think, is foolish. You know, if they're going to see the Cubs, you know, to see it, because that's not going to be even, that's most of that team won't even be around in 2014. So,
but the issue still is they're not winning.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, the issue here is figure out why we're not winning games.
Well,
that's the issue.
Well,
I don't
they've got
care
this long-term
about
plan.
expansion. I don't care about none of that.
Do you understand
stuff.
the long-term plan?
That's fine. That's fine. I just don't think it's going to help.
You don't think they're going to be? You don't think the long-term plan is going to work?
No.
Okay. So then, what's the deal with the one team that actually was winning, but people weren't going out to see them? The White Sox.
I don't know.
I don't understand that. I'm more, I've been more of a Cub fan than a Sox fan, but I don't hate the Sox, and I follow the Sox. And this season, I love following the Sox. They had a very good team.
Right.
Very underrated. Nobody
Absolutely.
expected that they were going to spend most of the year in first place.
Right.
It kind of sucked at the end where they unfortunately had a bit of a losing streak and Detroit got hot and,
right.
Knocked the Sox out of the top spot, in the last week of the season. But they were still a good team. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a second place team.
Yeah.
And, you've only get, 15,000 people going to the damn stadium.
Why aren't the Sox pumped up like the Cubs are?
I don't get it. I mean, I think it would probably be good if there was some sort of a new marketing campaign that the Sox did to try to appeal to everybody in the city. The Sox can go for North Siders too. Mm-hmm. They can go for North suburban folks too. You don't have to just be a South Side team geographically.
I don't even think it's that. I mean, it's just. Well, I mean, it is that here in Chicago where you feel like the White Sox are on the south side and the Cubs are on the north side. But still, it should be, like get behind your team regardless.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, I kept hearing things like Sox fans talking about how expensive it was to go to the ballpark. One of the interesting things that people don't realize is it's not against the rules to bring your own food to the ballpark. Okay? Now granted, you have to. I mean, you can't like bring glass bottles and stuff. You've got to, there's certain, things that you have to be able to get through their security. But you don't have to smuggle food like to a ballpark like you have to do in a movie theater.
Right.
So
right.
it's not even that. So you can go to a game, and I go to games and don't spend a whole lot on concessions.
Okay.
I go to games. I'll get a couple of hot dogs. Maybe get
How
a
much
beer
are
or
hot
two.
dogs?
I don't know. The hot dogs are probably going to be $5 to $7 or something like that. Yeah, they're expensive.
That's a lot for some
But
people.
it's ballpark dogs, and you know what? If I was going every day, then I'd probably bring a sandwich or something, or I'd bring my own, food, But I'm not going every day, and it's an event. It's it's a thing, And the thing that I don't get is a lot of these people who are complaining about the prices, probably buy coffee at Starbucks and probably buy bottled water and buy they essentially are in a way hypocritical because they're spending money on luxury items, exorbitant things they don't need to.
But it also goes again back to people basically are going to spend their money on what they want to spend it on. They complain about a $7 hot dog.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'm going to buy this $10 coffee from Starbucks. That's okay though. So I don't.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
$10 coffees at Starbucks are pretty brutal. But the thing that I don't get is the Sox fans. It's the ones that will say crap about Wrigley Field and the Cubs, but they don't come out to Comiskey Park to support their team.
I don't know.
And it just blows me away. It's
I don't know. I'm one of those people who never goes, so I'm not saying anything.
Well, you're not that big of a Sox fan.
I'm a fan of my Chicago teams. I just don't go to the games. I'm a fan of the team. I just don't go to the games.
I know. I mean, you got season tickets to see the Fire. I know that, but you don't.
You weren't supposed to tell anyone about that.
Yeah, well, you are a rabid soccer fan.
I gave it to you, and you still didn't go.
I don't like soccer. It's not a real sport.
Get behind your team.
Screw that. Until they rename the team the Sting. Der Sting. Then, if they do that, then I would go. Then I would support them.
Get behind your team.
Nobody, the Fire in my time, in my mind, is a 1970s World Football League team. So speaking of football, Bears are off to a decent start.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah,
they look good, except for that one.
The defense
game.
looks good. The offense looks a little spotty here and there.
But they're working on it.
They're working on it. I think when Matt Forte's out there, they do well. When Matt Forte's not there, they don't do well.
I would have to say no. The person who is the backup for Matt Forte is doing good too.
Michael Bush, sure,
yes.
But it seems like the game they lost, they didn't have Forte, and
one game.
Well, it is, but they didn't look good.
But they've won 3, right?
Yeah.
They in first place?
Yeah, tied. Tied for first with the Vikings.
With the Vikings. Yeah, and where the Cheeseheads?
I think the Packers are in third place.
Yeah, who cares?
But only one quarter of the season is over, so we'll see how things go.
So you're a huge football fan?
I'm a big football fan.
Okay, and are you behind your Bears team?
Sure.
Have you been to a game?
I have not been to a Bears game since 1979, but I don't need to because the stadium is selling out. If the stadium weren't selling out, and of course we wouldn't be seeing them on TV, I would think about going because I'm sure at that point the tickets might actually be affordable. Right now, Bears tickets aren't exactly affordable, at least the ones where you're not sitting,
in a
space.
decent spot, and they're winning.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember going to a Bears game at all.
Oh, and you're a supporter? What the heck?
I am, but I watch them on TV.
Oh, well.
Or NFL Network, anything like that. I'm watching them.
Okay.
That's a fan?
Sure.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
So, so what do we have to look forward to? The rest of the Bears season? We got the Bulls coming up.
Yes, I can't believe it's basketball time already.
Yeah. We're going to be missing Derrick Rose for probably, I would think, the whole season. If I'm the Bulls, I don't let him come back unless they're like in playoff contention and it looks like, but this could be a tough year.
Didn't some of our team members get traded?
Some of the scrubs and You know, they've you got to turn around some of these players.
Right.
You got a salary cap to be under.
Right. But Derrick Rose, I don't know. He might be back sooner than we think. It seems like he's going through rehab and doing a lot.
We'll see. We don't want him to come back too soon because we don't want any re-injuring, and we don't want a long term. I mean, if he comes back too soon and re-injures it, then it's like, what the heck? So.
Yeah, but we still love him.
Yep.
We love our Chicago teams, no matter what.
And hockey, they've got a lockout now, so we won't have hockey for a while. And
Nice.
And thus ends the Chicago sports wrap-up.
Oh, well. We'll be right back after these words from Gangnam Style. Do you want to be trendy, hip, and exude a certain class? Then head out to the store and buy yourself some Gangnam Style.
You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.